Hollywood glamour can seem unattainable, but Cassandra Gray puts the glitz within reach with Violet Grey. The luxury beauty company curates the top makeup brands in one space. From eyelash curlers to lip liners, you know you're getting the best of the best when you visit Violet Grey. Every product on their website and in their beautiful Melrose boutique is rigorously vetted by their prestigious Violet Code, a collection of the who's who in beauty from magazine editors, makeup artists, and designers who rank their favorite brands. Previously, Cassandra worked in marketing for the Plaza Hotel, Dom Perignon, and Kiki Day, and we're so happy to have her in the studio today. Cassandra, thanks for being here.
Sophia, thanks for having me.
It's been a while since I've seen you. I think the last time I saw you was we went to the LACMA thing. Was that it?
I think so.
Well, we're here today. I'm so happy we're here.
Me too.
The first question I ask all of our guests is, what was your first job? And there's first career type job, and then there's also first like random ass job that you had in maybe high school or college. For me, it was working at Subway.
The first time I made money was when I was, I think, about 9 years old. And I had a pretty unconventional childhood. My parents were hippies and migrated to San Francisco, as hippies do. And I was born at home with a midwife, the whole thing. And my mother and father were divorced when I was really young. And my mother, I was sort of an artist, Montessori school teacher, educator, and believed very much in sort of learning through life experience. So I was homeschooled. Wow. And we traveled a lot. So basically we would live somewhere for about a year, and then my mother would visit somewhere else, and then we'd move there. And cool. There was a time that she was, she remarried my stepfather, who was a stained glass maker. And because she was an artist, she drew the designs, and then he created the stained glass. It's very hippie. While they were doing that, I was sort of, arts and crafts on the floor, homeschooled, learning about what they do. And so I created dried flowers and put them in between two pieces of glass and then sealed them and sold them like at the art fair.
Cool. What city was that in?
That was in North Carolina.
Wow.
In a city called Asheville.
I've heard of that.
Which was at the time very artsy.
Artsy. I feel like there's a lot of like punks and kind of like political people there.
Now? Yeah. I don't know too much about the culture now, but sounds like it. It was sort of the alternative part of
North Carolina. What was your first like legitimate job?
So I had a lot of jobs by the time I was 19. I think the most impactful first job that I had was in a children's clothing store called Small Fries in Noe Valley.
Oh, cute.
That I think is still there.
I feel like I've heard of that. I used to work at a record store on 24th in Noe Valley.
Oh, really?
It was probably there.
Maybe we were there at the same time.
I don't know.
I was about 17 when I worked there. And the woman that owned it was like a former executive from The Gap. And she was a woman called Carol Yinney. And she sort of adopted me and sort of made me the manager and buyer. And I did the windows. So lots of creativity and also management experience. So I think that was sort of my first real job.
How long were you there?
I want to say like maybe 2 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so after that, from what I understand, you kind of went into marketing. Was that where you learned about marketing? And what are the things that you learned working for a small business like that? Do you feel like that was an important point for you?
Yeah, I definitely learned about marketing. I think I've always been sort of born with an innate sense of marketing, and it was really interesting. It was a time when Beanie Babies came out, and we discovered them at this little store. I'm sure lots of other places discovered them too, but we discovered them and they became like most of our business one year.
Wow.
And lines out the door. And so I think that was a really interesting case study. So I'm sure that inspired me. I haven't thought about it until just now.
So funny, Beanie Babies. Like they started and they were like a normal, cool thing. And then at a certain point, they became like this fringe thing for like weird people who don't leave their homes and they collected them. You know, it was like, at first it was like
quarters,
kind of like a normal thing. And then once the craze died down, it just seemed like weird eBay people or something. I was on eBay. So I just like remember.
Yeah, I think what I learned from that story, and I think there was two things that I remember learning, which was one, that I understood that the founder, Ty, or whatever he was called, went to the company that he was working for, which was some very large plush company, and with this idea, and they said, no, we don't like this idea. So he left and started it himself, which I think made an impact on me. And then just this notion of sort of collectibles and creating scarcity and through that.
Yeah. What do you think the best marketers possess, or what do you think it takes to be a good marketer?
I think it's about transparency and it's about emotional connectivity. And I believe that is very much rooted in authentic narrative and storytelling and why you do what you do.
Which I think you guys do so well. For our listeners, just how would you describe what Violet Grey is and how you connect, what you just described, I think is exactly what you do. I'd love to hear, how you do that with like the Violet files and everything.
Well, I think when we think about Violet Grey, or when we talk about Violet Grey, or try to describe Violet Grey in the elevator or whatever, in the short form, we're really a group of people, and really editors and engineers and marketers and office managers, and we're a team of 40 now. That's our core team. And then we work with about 120 curators and content collaborators from the industry, which is how we curate the best of beauty across all categories. So yeah, when we describe who we are and what we do and why we do what we do, we're a band of editors inside Hollywood that are, on a mission to really curate the best. And that's the best in beauty specifically. And beauty is such a really broad word, which makes it really fun from a storytelling perspective. And it's really kind of synonymous with self-esteem. And so emotionally connecting with women and helping them to navigate this really saturated world that most women are really interested in is fun and a problem to solve. So we're constantly just thinking about her, and we're inspired by women. Most of us are women. Like our head of tech is a woman, and we are just always thinking about what she wants and how to give it to her.